Hello everybody and welcome back again to Deus Ex Human Revolution. This could be the last or maybe the second last episode of this series. We'll see, but I feel that we are approaching the end. But first I need to get to the bottom of this facility and disable Hugh Darrow's signal. And yeah, previous episode we found William Taggart. He's still alive. And I don't know, can we talk to him again maybe?
All of this is as much your fault as it is Darrow's. You and your cabal.
Perhaps. But all we sought was a safety valve, Mr. Jensen. A means of making sure the world would never spin out of control. The potential of this technology is great, but, as we've seen, its potential for destruction is even greater.
Your doomsday scenario doesn't impress me. You'd say anything to stay in power.
Do you think humanity will simply police itself? We do not live in some Eden, Mr. Jensen. Or are you that much like your boss, David Serif, who envisions a world where everyone is enhanced and suddenly they all love each other? There will always be a need for methods of control.
And conveniently, in your future, the Illuminati will hold the reins.
Not directly. There are organizations already in place that are better equipped to handle certain things, the UN, for instance.
Reimagined, no doubt.
At least somewhat. And this technology will be a great part of it. Imagine, Mr. Jensen, a world governed by common principles. The end to international power struggles, to terrorism. These things can be accomplished if you join us.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I agree with him on one point. You know, if we use augmentation, then there should be some kind of regulation for it. But I still get that impression that by regulation he doesn't mean legislation, but actual control by using the biochip, right? And the fact that he has been part of this conspiracy all along, while openly pretending to be this outspoken anti-augmentation person, doesn't really make him very trustworthy. So he asked me last episode to blame the whole incident on contaminated neuropathy, which would basically cover up the existence of the biochip, so I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, let's look around a bit and maybe talk to some other people. Can I pick this up? Here we go.
How did you manage to avoid being affected by the signal? Were you in on it with that bastard, Darrow?
Not really. I actually was affected because I totally fell for your trap. Let's have a look at the computer too. Yeah, I have seen this already. Taking care of our girls. Well, I'm going to read that later.
You seem to be unaffected by the signal that Darrow is broadcasting. I suppose that is a military adaptation?
I wish. I wish.
That Hugh Darrow is a monster. Such a tragedy. In the right hands, this technology could have helped so many people.
Indeed.
Get away! Just get away! I saw what you people did. You killed them all! You even killed each other!
But I'm okay. You can trust me. Okay, I guess I should leave again, which means I have to go to the staircase because I need to go down over here. And I see a vent over here. Not sure if I can actually use it. Probably too high for me to jump inside. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like I can jump high enough, but I don't actually land inside the vent. So, I think I'm just going to leave the same way I came. It should be pretty safe, anyway. Oh, is this the vent? Let's have a look at it. I'm not sure where this vent is going, but seems to be a different direction. Oh, okay. Now it's going up. Sure, I guess I can at least check this out. Of course, I need to go further down and not up. Ah, here we go. Yeah. This is just an alternate route into that room. So, where does this one lead to? Oh. Well, I think this should actually be pretty safe. I disabled the cameras. I disabled the robot that was around here. So this shouldn't be a problem. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, of course we do have a bunch of crazy people in the next area, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I can hear them already. But I just need to reach the staircase and then I will end up here, and that's actually pretty close to my target over here. Alright. Okay, this should be safe.
I don't want it.
And not seeing anyone over here either. Oh, I hope that they're not going to see me. And that's the staircase. Okay, let's be quick and let's hope they don't see me. There we go. And of course we have more of them. Great. Let's see. Yeah, this is where I need to go. Well, this might be a good time to use my cloak again. But let's be careful. Let's not touch any of them. Yeah, there's a door over there, but I don't want to... Oh! Find and speak with Serif. Apparently, our boss is still alive as well. I just got a new quest. Sounds like a group of survivors have locked themselves in a machine room. David Serif is one of them. Maybe I should find him and ask him a few questions. Indeed, maybe I should. So, where would that be? I mean, this is my main objective, so I suppose I should look at other places that are not my main objective. Could be over here, but we have an elevator too, and I don't think I have been down here. So yeah, let's check out the elevator before we go to our main mission. There we go. Machine room! Yeah, that may actually be exactly the place where I need to go. So maybe the one over here? Or the one down here? One of these two rooms, I suppose. But I already see a horde of symbols on my map. So it's probably more crazy people. Oh yeah, I can hear them already. Okay, so what should we do? I mean, this room over here looks suspicious, but there's no door in this wall. There's one over here and one over here. So I guess I need to reach one of those two doors. And yeah, of course we have lots of crazy people again. Might be able to go through here. Okay. Okay, that worked out well. Now I'm over here. But this seems to be an empty room. Well, we have storage lockers. So, let's check them out. Can't take that. Which one did I just pick up? Probably one... Ah, I think this one. Yeah, it's another code. Alright. I'll take it. I don't need that. I was kinda hoping for a vent, but I don't see any of that. Alright, let's go on. Yeah, I guess this will lead me down to this room. And then I can actually use the stair to go up again and reach that room. Okay, let's do it. And I think I'm just going to use a few of my viruses, because I have so many of them.
Access granted.
Okay, here we go. Ooh, that's a mine. Let's be careful. I almost walked into that. And there's another one. Right. Okay, I hear more crazy people.
Get away from me!
I guess they're somewhere in here.
Get away from me!
And yeah, I hear more mines. So let's make sure we disable them. There we go. And there's another one over here. Ooh!
You'll never get me.
That was unfortunate. I was just trying to climb over that obstacle here to disarm the mine, but it went off when I tried to do that. Okay, well, close call, but it didn't really damage me, and it seems that they already forgot about me. Alright, there we go. I'll have a look at this pocket secretary, which is yet another code. Alright. And yeah, there's a door behind all of these boxes. So let's remove them. Oh! That was a little bit too noisy, I suppose. But it doesn't seem like they're actually coming over here. That's not enough to actually get inside here.
I know you're not there! But stop talking to me!
Ah, these guys make me twitchy. But, I think I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay. So what do we got here? Oh! Look at that! It's our boss! And he's still alive. Okay, I'm going to talk to him in a second. I'll have a look at your computer first. Yeah, I'm going to read those later. Let's go and talk to Serif now.
Adam! Oh, thank God you came. I've got wounded here. We'll have to move them first.
We can't move anyone yet. Not until I get to the base of the station and shut down Darrow's broadcast.
What? Why?
The chaos you experienced here, it's everywhere. The Illuminati created a biochip that stops people from using enhanced abilities, and Darrow turned it into a kill switch.
Oh my God, you... We gotta fix this, Adam. If people realize what's happened, if they believe augmentation technology created this chaos, they'll ban human enhancement research forever.
And that would be a bad thing.
Yes, it would! Don't you see what's at stake here? Ever since man first crawled out of that ocean, we've been striving to be more than we are. Augmentation technology is just the latest, greatest step on a very long road. But we've barely scratched the surface of its potential. We can't let fear stop us from continuing.
That's your belief, Serif. Not everyone shares it.
But you do, Adam. I know it. And if we work together, we can really make a difference. We can improve the lives of everyone, but only if we fix this.
Go on.
We'd have to get a message out after you shut down Hugh's signal. Tell the world, tell them the Humanity Front did this.
Ooh.
That their doctors created a virus that only affects augmented people.
You mean lie?
Nah, it'll give us time, son. Time to figure out how to destroy the Illuminati's biochips and move on.
And what about the people who've been hurt by this? Don't they deserve the truth?
I had 'em. If we want the freedom to become more than we are, we can't be blinded by a misguided morality. Some people will be left behind. It's reality. It's evolution, son.
Right. Evolution based on my DNA.
Please, son, you have to stay with me on this.
I'll think about it.
Okay. I see a pattern emerge here, so he wants me to send a message as well, but one that fits his own agenda. And again, it kinda omits the existence of a biochip, which I don't think is a good idea, because as long as a biochip is still active, somebody could use it again to, control people. So, yeah, I don't know, boss, how I feel about that.
You've got no remorse about using me at all, do you?
I never used you, son.
You experimented with my DNA without telling me.
Adam. This is difficult. Listen. Megan came to me with the sample. When she showed me her finding, when we saw the incredible potential of super compatibility.
You just had to share it with the world.
Adam, think about it. Would you have been able to do any of the things you've done without enhancements? Huh? Most people's bodies aren't as accepting of this technology as yours is. Sharing your DNA makes it possible for us to be like you. How can you deny us that chance?
Who said I would deny it? You stole my DNA and lied to me.
Good point.
You didn't give me the choice.
I'm giving it to you now, Adam. Look, I admit it, I haven't done things the best way. But don't punish the world to spite me. Darrow wants us to live in the Dark Ages. The Illuminati wants to limit evolution to those they control. You and me, we...
Don't group me with you, Serif. I'll make my own choices from here.
I believe that. And I believe you'll make the right ones.
Well, we'll see about that. But, I think that he actually believes what he's saying, and I do believe that his intentions are good, but you know what the road to hell is paved with, right? So, yeah, I need to think about that.
Do I know you? You're Sarah's boy, aren't you? Jensen. Are you here to stop the carnage? Someone needs to take charge here.
I'm trying my best.
I was so scared. I heard two of them coming around the corner, tearing at each other. I just dropped to the floor and played dead.
Probably for the best.
How could Darrow turn his back on us? This technology was his baby. It was his passion that made me believe in its possibilities.
Well, yeah, he kinda changed his opinion a bit.
Why? Why would Hugh Darrow do such a thing? There's nothing to be gained by causing so much pain and terror.
Yep, well, I agree with that. But yeah, I guess now that we found Serif and the others, we need to get out of here again. I will have a look at the vent over here. Oh, I see. That's the big room we've seen earlier. And where exactly am I now? Oh, over here. Yeah, sure. I mean, I would like to check out that room over here as well. Though I'm not sure if this is actually getting me
I can't stand the noise.
to where I need to go. Because I need to go back to the elevator. And this one doesn't really seem to get me to the elevator. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this place. Oh!
I'm seeing things. Bodies.
What the hell? It's just a bunch of people here.
Get up! Get up!
I mean,
Get away!
this is a dead end, right? So,
Get away!
well, I suppose I can, like, take out these people and see what we can do here. Alright. Here we go. Yeah, this is clearly a dead end. I guess this is a place where you can drop down from a certain place. Yeah, it looks like you can drop down here, but you can't go back up. So I basically need to go back to the elevator on the other side. Got it. And avoid all of the people inside there. Yeah, let's just... Oh, hang on a second. We actually have, like, a door over here. Ah, I see. So I just need to get to the other side of this and back in the elevator. Alright. I have been inside here. I don't know. This doesn't look like a place I've been to already. No, I have not. Okay, but it's just a little secret room. And now, oh right, there's another big room that I need to go through before I can reach the elevator.
Get away from me! Get away!
I remember now. Okay. Perfect timing. And there we go. That's the elevator. Okay. So we made this little detour to talk to Serif. And now we need to get back on track and stop Hugh Darrow's signal. By the way, what are my augmentations doing? I think I have a few open points, and since we are nearing the end, I may as well want to use them. Like, why not get the final armor upgrade? Sprint faster, sprint silently. Sprint for an extra 2.5 seconds. I don't know about the rest. I don't know. Let's keep that one point open. in case of emergency. Okay, so now we just need to go through this very long corridor. Alright. Access granted. Lockdown disengaged. Indeed. Broadcast center. Oh, that's where I need to go to stop the signal. Okay, so we're getting there. We're getting there. This is exciting. And some very inconspicuously placed heavy weapons. Oh! Is this a place where I want to go inside? Oh, great. Well, let's check out the vent over here. I mean, I am immune to gas, so I can actually look around here. Oh, I can't grab another unlocking device. Well, I suppose that can go. I don't really need the money anymore. I mean, I could go back to that limb clinic. I have enough money for a praxis point, but I think I'm fine. I don't think I need another praxis point, so let's not do that. Alright. Let's hack this one.
Access granted.
And let's see what we can do here. Oh, I can switch on the turret, and the turret would kill all the people here. I don't want to do that, though. I mean, that's just horrible. Okay, that seems to be pretty much all I can do here. Well... Oh, I see. I need to get through this long corridor filled with crazy people. And I suppose if I don't want to use the turret, I'm going to use my cloak. Alright. In this case, I'm just going to make a run for it. Alright. Ooh. What's this? Oh, it's the big hole. And I guess this is an elevator, right? So we're going down. Alright, here goes nothing. Once the elevator ride begins, there is no turning back. Are you sure you want to descend now? Yeah, I guess I'm as ready as I'll ever be. Let's do it. Okay, can I look down? Barely. I mean, this is a very impressive structure. Gotta say that. It's a bit like an evil James Bond villain lair. And it's taking a very long time to get down here. Oh boy. Can't even see the bottom of this. Okay, but apparently we reached it. I mean, it goes down even further, but that's as deep down the elevator goes, apparently. Alright, broadcast center. Here we come. Let's have a quick save. And they're throwing more heavy weapons at us. Okay.
What the hell? Oh my God.
Water pressure nominal at 173 psi.
Who am I?
Communications web online.
I feel cold.
Drones 1 through 3 within operational parameters.
Oh
I
dear.
don't remember.
Drone 4 disconnected.
Let me go.
Processing.
Oh God, please help me. I'm scared.
Core temperature stable. Processing.
Zhao, what are you doing?
Connecting to Panchaea's Hyron project, Mr. Jensen. The most
Why?
advanced quantum computer slave to the human brain, and the closest to perfection we'll ever achieve. I'm going to use it to hack Darrow's signal and rework the message to our benefit.
Our benefit? You mean the Illuminati's?
That seems like a very bad idea.
Someone has to override the signal and be the world's savior. And let's be honest, neither of us would trust anyone else to fill that role. Computer, begin EEG sync.
So much pain.
Syncing beta waves at 40 cycles per second.
Sleep, please. Let me sleep.
Incompatible master-slave chip.
So that's the supercomputer that works with integrated human brains. Okay.
The system won't recognize my chip.
Neural systems offline. Rerouting control of the
I can't control Hyron.
Increasing glutamate levels by 32%.
This can't be good.
Zhao, get them out of there. I have to reach the control chamber.
No! I can still control it! I'm in control!
Stop the signal.
Security alert.
Through the primary drone hatch.
Oh shit.
Okay, well, I guess this is it. This is it. We're going to fight. I'm not even sure who or what we're going to fight.
Security in place. To access Alpha Pod,
What?
purge tertiary
What exactly am I fighting now? Let me have a look at my quest. I'm a bit confused. Defeat the Hyron project. Darrow said his signal was protected by the Hyron project, a cutting-edge security system. Okay, but he did give me the code to shut it down, so I should be able to disable it, right? He didn't mention that that system is made of advanced quantum computers slave to human drones. Yeah, I don't know, it feels more like the humans are slaved to the computer. Zhao Yunru just hooked herself up to it, so if I want to shut down the signal, I'm going to have to defeat her. Okay. Well, I see turrets and a bunch of quest markers.
What I do, the council will welcome me with open arms.
And somewhere over there is Zhao, but it's not where my quest marker is pointing. So let me have a look at my stuff. I mean, I have collected all of these supplies, so I think this is the right time to use it. Let's just completely heal up. And let's have a look at these thingies over here, okay? Alright, not exactly sure what this is doing. But I'm just going... Oh, this is where I can enter the code. Okay, let's do it.
Safety purge.
There we go. Inactive.
Manual override of tertiary pods initiated.
So,
System purge in
can I, like,
shutting down tertiary
shoot you now?
Warning. Electrical charge subcritical.
Nope, there is like
electric discharge sequence
a wall in front of her.
Where did you get that code? From that fool Darrow. This will not stop me, Jensen.
Okay. Maybe there's a way I can open the door. Because at the moment I can't attack her. Oh, we have a robot over here. Well, let me deal with the robot. Guess I may as well use up my Typhoon ammo as well. Oh, and we have more crazy people. But they died from the electrocution.
Electrical
That's a pity.
subcritical and rising. Halfway to discharge sequence.
And oh, that's another robot. I'm going to destroy this one too. I am still slightly confused about what I'm supposed to do here. Alright. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I need to heal up. I need to heal up. Okay. And I need more energy as well. I'm not going to hold back on that stuff now. There we go. Well, I tried to save you, but that didn't work out as I wanted to. So, I see another robot on my screen. Yeah, here we go. Let's destroy this one too. This is a very confusing battle though. I'm just shooting at stuff because I definitely can't shoot her. Maybe I need stronger weapons. Can I destroy this with a grenade? No, I can't. This is a very, very tough wall. Alright. But we can destroy the robot. There we go. Well, good thing the current isn't hurting me. Now that augmentation against the electricity really comes in handy. Okay, but I need to find a way to open that damn door. Let's look around a bit.
Discharge imminent. Clear the area.
Well, we have some stuff over here. Oh, hang on a second. I'll be with you in a second. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Doors. Yeah, let's open the door, but it doesn't seem to be the door that I want to open. Oh, I think it's open now? It is! Okay, now we can fight her. That was really strange. Okay, but a few grenades to the job. There we go.
I can't!
Ooh! What a confusing battle! And I guess she's dead. So, are we done here? Well, we do get an achievement. The end. So, I guess we might be done. Let's look around a little bit. And I guess they are dead too. But I'm not sure if there's actually a way to save them. Oh, look at all of this stuff. Well, I don't need it. I had enough supplies and heavy weapons to easily win this fight. Yeah, and that's all that's left of her, apparently. Anyway, it seems like we can go through here.
Hello, Adam. Welcome to the edge. It is not the end of the world, but you can see it from here.
Okay.
Eliza? What are you doing here?
It is my job to monitor and report on the news, Adam. Before Darrow smothered everything with his signal, the whole world was tuned into this place, including me.
The broadcast. I have to stop it.
I know. Please, come closer. Do you know where we are, Adam? We are at the fulcrum point, when society lies in the balance. Hugh Darrow hoped to tip the scales one way, by telling the world everything you already know. About the biochip, the Illuminati, everything. He believed knowing the truth would convince mankind to abandon research into human enhancement technologies forever.
It would certainly give them reason to fear it.
Indeed. Darrow's confession is ready to send. If you want, I can wideband it across all media as soon as you shut down the signal.
Okay.
Everything you worked so hard to uncover will be exposed. But only if you deactivate the broadcast using this control. However, if you desire, I can alter Darrow's message. Conceal the creation of the biochip while putting in new content.
Content blaming the humanity front, like Serif suggested.
The organization has already admitted to harboring terrorists. It would be easy to convince people they turn to biological warfare in a more desperate attempt to get rid of augmented people.
But why? What would that achieve?
In time, it could shift the focus of hatred onto people whose prejudices are seen as too extreme, leaving corporations free to experiment with human evolution as they desire. But if you want me to perform this edit for you, you must disengage the signal and activate the video edit function from here. Alternatively, Darrow's message can be adjusted to erase all mention of the power group known as the Illuminati. I can report that lack of proper regulation allowed vast quantities of neuropozyne to become contaminated prior to reaching the market.
Taggart's preference. You think the world will buy a made-up story about neuropozyne poisoning?
You might be surprised by what people believe. I can convince them.
Okay.
And having experienced the negative effects of corporate negligence firsthand, a majority of people might force the world to place harsh restrictions on all human enhancement research. But only if you disengage the signal and activate the video edit function from here. Of course, there is another option. This passage leads to Panchaea's pressure regulation controls. Destroy them and the installation will cave in on itself, overwhelmed by the weight of the ocean pressing against it. Everyone inside the structure will die.
Oh, great.
That's a solution?
No one will be left to tell the world what happened, Adam. Nobody will be able to spin the story.
Including me.
The choice is yours. Do you believe you have the wisdom to choose an appropriate future for mankind? Or do you trust mankind to find the answers on its own?
Well, this is interesting. So, now I have to make a decision. This is Darrow's message, Taggart's message, and Serif's message. And I have, like, another option. Is it over here? Okay, yeah, this must be it. Self-destruct button. Okay, so I have 4 options. And I need to pick one. Well, I have to admit, I'm a little bit skeptical about Eliza Cassan's predictions, so to speak. I mean, if you think about it, the Serif message and the Hugh Darrow message, according to Eliza Cassan, will have, like, absolutely opposite consequences. So, in one case, people will become more pro-augmentation, and in the other case, people will become even more anti-augmentation. But if you think about it, the messages, the core message of both versions is actually kind of similar. I mean, in Sarah's version, the cause of the incident is an anti-augmentation group that uses a virus to exploit augmentations and turn it against people. And in Hugh Darrow's version, it is himself who is, anti-augmentation now, who is using the biochip to exploit augmentations and turn it against people. So in both cases, it's caused by an anti-augmentation person who is basically using a weakness in the augmentation technology to make a point. So I feel that the Serif version and the Hugh Darrow version are at least similar. I mean, obviously, Serif's version is omitting some details, and coming from Hugh Darrow, people might be more inclined to turn against augmentation. After all, he was pro-augmentation, and when he argues against it, people might be more likely to change their opinion as well. But I still find it weird that despite the fact that both of these versions kind of have the same narrative, according to Eliza Cassan, they will have completely different outcomes. Ironically, it seems that Taggart's version over here is the one that seems most augmentation friendly, because it's just blaming it on an accident, and I feel that people might be calmed down more if it was just an accident, because you can fix that easily. On the other hand, I'm just not buying it that these two options will have such drastically different consequences. So how does Eliza Cassan know? I mean, I suppose since she's like a supercomputer, she can calculate the consequences, and with the help of Picus TV, she can make sure that people swallow whatever version I'm going to pick, which in itself is a little bit freaky, right? And probably cause of concern. But that's a different story, I suppose. But yeah, I'm just not buying it. I'm not really buying that the outcome is just as Eliza Cassan predicted it. And I feel that in the end, we can't make this decision based on our preferred outcome, because it's just too speculative, and we just need to make it based on what we think is right at this very moment. So I have a very clear favorite here, and that is Hugh Darrow's message. Not because I agree with what he's doing, or because I agree with his ideology or whatever, but simply based on the fact that his version has the virtue of being what actually happened. And I think it's not up to Jensen to make a decision, if augmentations are to be used or not. I mean, he actually said that himself, when talking to Taggart and Serif, that it's not his decision. But, the people, humanity as a whole has to make that decision. But they can't make that decision if they don't get a full picture of what happened. And that's why I don't like Serif's version or Taggart's version, because they omit, crucial details. They omit the biochip. They omit the conspiracy. And without that information, we can't make sure that it's not going to happen again, right? I mean, presumably the conspiracy is larger than just the people here on this station, right? So they could just do it again if the biochip isn't getting disabled. And that's why the option over here is definitely my least favorite, because that just feels like a complete cover-up, I destroy all the evidence, I kill all the witnesses, and nobody will ever hear anything about what happened here. But, I mean, the damage has been done, right? I mean, people saw augmented people running crazy and killing people. So without an explanation, they're just not going to know how to fix that. And I feel that using this button over here will only benefit, the Illuminati or whatever, because, they can just try again, because they know about the biochip and they know how to control it, right? So I feel we need to tell the story, and we need to, give as much information as we can. So that would be Hugh Darrow's message. And I mean, whatever will happen will happen. If people decide after hearing the message that they don't want to use augmentations anymore, then so be it. That's not really, for us to decide, is it? I have to say, it is kind of weird that Eliza Cassan is suddenly making a reappearance, because we still don't really know her agenda and what she's trying to achieve and why she is trying to help Adam Jensen. It's a little bit like the end of Mass Effect 3, spoiler alert if you haven't played that game yet, where you also get a choice between different options, but the person who gives you the choice and who tells you what's going to happen when you pick, whatever choice, is unreliable at best. In Mass Effect 3 it's the weird space Reaper child, and here we have this computer and we don't really know who is controlling her, if anyone, and what her agenda is. So I can't help but overthink this a little bit and say, why should I trust what she's telling me? Why should I believe that the consequences are going to be this and that? So, long story short, I will go with Hugh Darrow's version, not because I agree with his message or whatever, but simply because it is the one that is most accurate and that gives us the most broad information. So hopefully people can use that information, disable the biochip, and then make sure that this doesn't happen again. And, then we'll see what's going to happen. So yeah, I don't know. That's really all I have to say about this. It's an interesting decision. It is not a very difficult one for me because I feel that picking any of these is just covering up the truth, and destroying the station is like the biggest cover-up of all. So whatever. Let's just stick with the truth, and whatever will happen will happen.
If you do this, the unadulterated truth in Darrow's confession may well convince mankind to cast all science and technology aside, to ensure that future generations grow up free and whole. Are you sure this is your choice?
Yeah, I feel that the consequences sound a little bit overly dramatic. So, I'm not sure why she believes that this is going to be the outcome. Especially since a very similar message sent by Serif is supposed to have the exact opposite outcome. And yeah, I am sure that this is what I want to do, so let's just stick with it.
So be it then.
Albert Einstein said, technological progress is like an axe in the hands of a pathological criminal. Took me a while, but I finally see his point. How often have we chased the dream of progress only to see it perverted? More often than not, haven't the machines we built to improve life shattered the lives of millions? And now we want to turn that dream on ourselves to fundamentally improve who we are. Experience has shown me how dangerous that can be. How many times in the call of duty did I almost fall into the trap of taking shortcuts, abusing my abilities or the resources at hand? I resisted. Barely at times, because I valued human lives and considerations. Can I truly despise others who fall? Technology offers us strength. Strength enables dominance, and dominance paves the way for abuse. Darrow understood this. He knew that using technology to become something more than we are risks losing our ability to love, aspire, or make moral choices. The very things that make us human. It also risks giving some men the power to make others what they choose, regardless of the cost to human dignity. The suffering Darrow inflicted is not the end of the world. It is merely the seed for change. And change never comes without pain.
Okay, well, I got another achievement, Trooper. And it seems like we reached the end of the game. Yeah, we have the credits, so maybe we should use the credits to talk a little bit about what just happened. I think it was an interesting little speech. I don't necessarily agree with all of that, but I picked Hugh Darrow's message because I felt that, you know, the truth had to be made public and people had to know what went down here, and then they need to make their own decision about augmentations. However, I can't help but wonder how this will affect the timeline of this game. I mean, as far as I understand, this game is basically a prequel to the first Deus Ex game. And the first Deus Ex game plays, I don't know, sometime into the future from this game on. So how does this decision affect anything in that timeline? Probably nothing, really. I mean, the first game has a certain canon, and I'm going to assume that it contains augmentations. So even if you pick like the Hugh Darrow option, it won't really affect the future, does it? At least not in the game canon. But yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit while the credits are rolling. So usually when I talk about a game, I start by talking about the gameplay and other aspects like that. I don't really have much to criticize in regards of the gameplay. After I got used to it and the weird shift in perspective between first person and third person, it actually played pretty well. I did appreciate the fact that you had like different options how to finish a mission, that you could go stealthy or you could go more offensive or whatever. So it was a nice challenge to try to make it stealthy, because I usually don't play very stealthily in other games. So I enjoyed that a lot. The one thing that was a little bit weird about the gameplay were probably the boss battles. I mean, they weren't exactly bad, they were just weird. Apparently they were designed by a different studio, as I've been told, and then they were changed a little bit for the director's cut to allow people who went for a stealthy playthrough to be able to defeat enemies, but they still felt a little bit disjointed and like they didn't really belong to the rest of the game. So yeah, the boss battles were weird, but I can live with that, I suppose. Everything else about the game design as such, I thought was pretty well done. I like the look of the game, the art style. The music is pretty good. So again, I don't really have much to criticize here. So maybe let's talk about the story instead. And in regards to the story, well, there are some minor issues that I have. First of all, I think that Megan as a character, I don't know, I never really felt too connected with her. I mean, the whole emotional core of the story was basically Jensen trying to find his, I don't know, girlfriend. I don't think they were married, right? And they made it look like he was really obsessed with it, but the problem is I never really felt it, because we never got to know Megan at all. So I never really felt any emotional connection to her, and when we finally found her, it was more like, some curiosity than actual emotions that I felt. I understand that it's not easy to incorporate that into the game, but I don't know, maybe a few flashbacks would have helped to give us an idea about Megan and the relationship between Megan and Jensen, because such as it is, I feel Jensen could have been looking for, like, I don't know, a secret device that had been stolen, and it would have made the same emotional impact on me, because I didn't really feel anything for Megan, because we never got to know her. And I would like to contrast that with The Witcher 3, for example, another game where you spend like most of the game looking for somebody. And obviously Ciri is a character from the books, so if you have read the books, you already have a connection to her. But even if you did not read the books, and I didn't, the game makes great effort to establish a connection and to show why Geralt cares for her. So by the time that Geralt found Ciri, I was actually tearing up, and I felt a connection. I didn't feel it in this game at all. So I feel that the story was kind of missing the emotional core that it tried to portray by having Jensen look for his lost love. Yeah, but other than that, I think the story was fine. The pacing was a little bit weird from time to time. Specifically, the mission at the rifle bank station, which apparently was DLC later added into the game. I think as a standalone DLC it kind of makes sense, but incorporated into the game, it just dragged down the pacing right before the finish line. So, I don't know. I feel it could have been just included as an extra mission later. What I did like about the game is that it was very layered. The story of the game was very layered, and it had a lot of detail that you could find, and you could read all these messages and then, piece together some parts of the story that you may miss otherwise. I mean, obviously I haven't found out all of the interesting secrets, like, I didn't make the connection about the impending attack with a biochip, but I could have if I would have thought a little bit more out of the box, probably. So I think it would be interesting to replay the game and see all the foreshadowing and all the little details that you might miss on a first playthrough. And I do think that the game does have a good amount of replay value, simply because you might want to play in a different playstyle and just, take another look at everything that's been said and done, and then make the connections to the story once you know how the story ends. So it's definitely a game that I think should be played again at some point. Yeah, what else is there to say? I definitely liked the topic of the game. It's certainly very thought-provoking, and it made me think about a couple of things myself. So from that perspective, I think it is unlike any other game that I've played, because I haven't really played any of the cyberpunk genre games. So this was very interesting for me. And yeah, finally maybe a few words on the ending. Like I said, I feel that the ending, I honestly would have been fine with an ending where you don't need to make a decision. It felt a little bit like, okay, we kind of want to give you a decision, so here you go. But for the reasons that I mentioned already, it seemed a little bit contrived. And I'm not really sure if it really makes a difference, since the future is already set in stone, right? Because there is a game set in the future of this game. And whatever you decide in this game won't affect that, because, it's already released. And like I said, it felt that, Eliza Cassan's role wasn't really well explained, so I guess it's kind of part of the mystery that we don't really know why she's helping us, or maybe they kind of intend to deal with that issue in the next Deus Ex game, because there is a sequel to this game, right? Mankind Divided, which is still a prequel to the first game, is it not? I'm not entirely sure about the timeline here, but I think there is like another sequel, but in the end all of them are prequels to the first Deus Ex game. So yeah, I feel that the game definitely left some unanswered questions, specifically the role of Eliza Cassan and all of that. And I'm pretty sure that we haven't completely destroyed the Illuminati. I guess we have only killed like the Chinese lady, and that's about it. So yeah, there's certainly still a lot of open questions that hopefully get answered in the next game, Mankind Divided, which I do intend to play at some point. I can't really...
You worry too much, Morgan.
Oh,
there's nothing we can't manage given time. She's here. I have to cut this short. Keep going through the wreckage. Maybe we'll find something we can use for the Morpheus initiative. Come in.
Post-credit scene.
Dr. Reed. We're so pleased you decided to join us.
Where else could I go?
No regrets, my dear. As Ariadne told Theseus before he entered the Minotaur's labyrinth, always forward, never left or right. You'll be very interested in our current project. We're breaking new ground.
Yes, the nanite virus chimera is quite intriguing. I'm looking forward to seeing the hybrid project up close, Mr. Page.
And so you shall. But please, call me Bob.
What? Who is that? Oh well, so we have an interesting little post-credit scene here, which I guess is supposed to be a teaser for the next game. But yeah, as I was about to say, I do intend to play the next game. I mean, this series was not as successful, quote-unquote, as some of my other series, but whoa, that's some very dramatic music right here. It's kind of taken me a little bit aback. Yeah, but what I'm still trying to talk about the future of the series. So even though the series didn't get as many views as some of my other series, I do enjoy the game, and that's why I do want to continue it by playing the sequel, Mankind Divided. However, before I do that, I will play a different game, which is Life is Strange. So I will take one day off. I believe that this episode will upload on Saturday. So I will take them one day off, and then on Wednesday I'm going to start with Life is Strange. And once Life is Strange is over, I will start to make a new schedule with new games and continuations to my running series, and I will add Mankind Divided to the schedule. So if you enjoyed the series, I will continue it, so hopefully you will come back for it. And yeah, I think that's all I want to say about this for now. I'm just going to leave you with this dramatic outro, and I say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you will come back for my next series. So bye bye.